Let's be honest. For years, we've all felt a little uneasy about how much of ourselves we put online. Every selfie, every video call, every profile picture, it's all out there, floating in the digital ether, just waiting to be copied, shared, or even stolen. On the internet, your identity has been about as secure as a chocolate teapot in a heat wave. In other words, not secure at all. The moment you upload a photo, it's out of your hands, and anyone with a Wi-Fi connection can do almost anything with it. Your data's been sold, your opinions monetized, your photos judged by strangers. We've all seen those weird ads that seem to know a little too much about us, or discovered our images used in places we never agreed to. But now, Denmark, yes, the land of Lego, pastries, and cozy hygge, has done something radical. They've introduced a law that lets you copyright your own face. That's right, your face is now officially your property, protected by law. That's right, your face, your voice, your body, they're now your intellectual property. It's a monumental shift, and it means you finally have a say in how your likeness is used, both online and offline. For years, we've just accepted the wild west of the online world. We've watched as deepfakes, identity theft, and digital impersonation became more common, and we were told to just be careful with what we share. If someone used your photo to catfish or your voice to scam, that was just life online. You could complain, but there wasn't much you could actually do about it. The rules simply hadn't caught up with the technology. But Denmark said, "Nej tak, no thank you," and gave people legal power over their own likeness. Now, if someone tries to use your face or voice without your permission, you have the law on your side. Now, if someone uses your face to sell a dodgy product or endorse a politician you hate, you can actually do something about it. You can demand it be taken down or even take legal action. It's a real enforceable right. It's a digital lock for your identity, recognizing that our physical and digital selves are now inseparable. In a world where AI can clone your face or voice in seconds, this kind of protection is more important than ever. Denmark's law hands power back to individuals, making your identity yours to control. It's a step toward a future where we're not just products for tech companies, but people with rights and boundaries. It's the kind of common sense that makes you wonder why it took so long. Why did we let our faces become public property for so many years? Maybe it just took one small country to show the rest of us what's possible. Congratulations, Denmark. You've given the world a lot to think about. Maybe, just maybe, this is the start of a global movement to reclaim our digital selves and finally put us back in control. What pushed Denmark to act? The answer is simple, yet chilling: deepfakes. These aren't just science fiction anymore. They're a real and growing threat, forcing governments to rethink how to protect their citizens in the digital age. Imagine a world where artificial intelligence can create videos or audio so realistic, your face or voice could be swapped in, making it look and sound like you're doing or saying things you never actually did. It's not just a hypothetical, it's happening right now. The technology behind deepfakes has advanced so rapidly that for most people it's nearly impossible to distinguish what's real from what's fake. Even experts can be fooled, and the line between truth and fiction blurs more every day. Deepfakes have already been weaponized to create fake political statements, spread misinformation, and even simulate world leaders declaring war or making controversial announcements. The potential for chaos is enormous. Scammers are exploiting deepfake audio to impersonate loved ones, tricking people into handing over money or sensitive information. The emotional manipulation is powerful and often devastating, but perhaps the most widespread and insidious abuse is non-consensual pornography. Ordinary people, teachers, students, neighbors, find their faces pasted onto explicit videos, their identities stolen and violated. It's not just celebrities who are targeted, it's anyone, anywhere. In today's hyper-connected world, anyone with a social media photo is a potential victim. A single selfie can be enough for someone to create a convincing deepfake, turning innocent moments into tools for harassment or blackmail. The psychological damage inflicted by deepfakes is real and devastating. Victims often experience anxiety, depression, and a profound sense of violation, knowing their image has been twisted and abused beyond their control. Deepfakes don't just harm individuals, they erode trust in our entire information ecosystem. When manipulated videos flood our screens, it becomes harder to know what's true, and easier for lies to spread unchecked. When you can't trust your own eyes and ears, accountability disappears. The very foundation of truth is shaken, and society is left vulnerable to manipulation. Deepfakes aren't just a joke or a novelty, they're a weapon capable of destroying reputations, relationships, and even democracy itself. That's why Denmark's new law matters. It acts as a shield, finally giving people a way to fight back, to reclaim their identities, and to hold perpetrators accountable in a world where digital threats are everywhere. The stakes couldn't be higher. As technology races ahead, the fight to protect truth, dignity, and trust has never been more urgent. So, how does Denmark's groundbreaking new law actually work? At first glance, it might seem simple, but its impact is truly revolutionary and far-reaching. Denmark has taken a bold step that could set a global precedent for digital rights and personal protection. Under this law, every Danish citizen is automatically granted copyright over their own likeness. This means your face, your body, and even your unique voice are now legally protected as your personal property. It doesn't matter who you are, everyone from students to seniors enjoys this right. Any realistic digital manipulation, such as a deepfake video or an AI-generated image that convincingly mimics your appearance or voice, now requires your explicit consent. If someone creates or shares a digital version of you without your permission, it's not just a privacy issue anymore, it's a direct copyright violation. This legal shift reframes the problem. Instead of treating these violations as vague privacy breaches, Denmark now treats them as clear cases of property theft. Your identity is your property, and the law protects it as such. Importantly, the law specifically targets synthetic media that is designed to look and sound real. Not every digital edit is affected, only those that could realistically fool someone into thinking it's actually you. There's no need to worry about your favorite memes, parodies, or political cartoons. The law makes clear exceptions for satire, parody, and artistic expression. Creative freedom is preserved, so humor and commentary remain safe. The real focus is on stopping malicious deception. Cases where someone tries to trick others or harm your reputation by making it look like you did or said something you never did. For example, if someone makes a deep fake of you endorsing a product you've never heard of, or worse, places your likeness in explicit or harmful content, you now have the right to demand its removal. You can also seek financial damages for the harm caused. In the past, victims had to navigate a confusing maze of privacy laws, often with little success. Now the process is much clearer and more accessible, giving ordinary people real power to defend themselves. If you discover that someone has used a realistic digital version of you without your permission, and it's not clearly satire or art, your copyright has been violated. You have a clear path to take action. This law gives everyone a straightforward, effective legal tool to protect their dignity, reputation, and personal identity in a rapidly changing digital world. It's a practical, forward-thinking solution to a very modern problem, one that's only going to become more important as technology evolves. By drawing a clear line between protection and freedom, Denmark's law balances the need for personal security with the value of creative expression. In the digital age, this law acts as a new shield for personal identity, ensuring that your face, your voice, and your story remain truly yours. Denmark's approach is the first of its kind. While others debated, Denmark acted, creating a new legal framework that roots the right to your image in copyright law. The message is clear: your face is not public domain. This isn't just about punishing bad actors, it's about setting a legal principle that deters abuse. It's a direct challenge to the move fast and break things ethos of Silicon Valley. Denmark puts individual rights ahead of unchecked tech expansion. By being first, Denmark sets a global standard and forces others to take the issue seriously. Now, the conversation is Denmark's copyright approach the right way? Other countries have a concrete example to debate and potentially follow. Denmark's law is a flag in the ground likely to ripple worldwide. Deepfakes aren't just a celebrity problem, they threaten everyone. Denmark's law protects ordinary people: students, teachers, job applicants, even your Aunt Carol on Facebook. A teacher's reputation could be destroyed by a fake video. A job seeker could be sabotaged by a malicious deepfake. In cases of abuse, deepfakes can be used to harass and control victims. The harm is personal and devastating. Artists and performers benefit too. Their likeness is their brand, and now they have legal control. This law democratizes protection, giving everyone, not just celebrities, the right to defend their image. Celebrities have lawyers, regular people don't. By framing this as copyright, Denmark makes justice more accessible. Aunt Carol now has the same rights as a Hollywood star. In the digital age, everyone's identity deserves protection. The law levels the playing field for all. It's about dignity for everyone, not just the famous. A law is only as strong as its enforcement, and Denmark's has real teeth. It doesn't just target deepfake creators, it holds tech platforms responsible too. If notified about a violating deepfake, platforms must act fast or face hefty fines. This shifts the burden from victims to the billion-dollar companies hosting the content. Platforms now have a financial incentive to invest in better detection and moderation. Ignoring takedown notices is no longer just bad PR, it's expensive. Denmark's law challenges the old legal shields that let platforms off the hook. When it comes to identity theft, platforms have a duty of care. They can't just claim neutrality, they're responsible for the digital space they curate. This law forces them to finally step up. No law is perfect, and Denmark faces real challenges. The internet has no borders. Enforcing Danish law globally is tough. Defining what's realistic versus satire is tricky, and could lead to court battles. Technology evolves fast. The law will need constant updates. There's a risk of abuse. Could powerful people use it to silence critics? Legal action is expensive. Will regular people be able to use this law? For true effectiveness, support systems like legal aid may be needed. The law is a powerful tool, but only if everyone can access it. Denmark wants this law to be a blueprint for all of Europe. They're pushing for an EU-wide approach, arguing that only a unified front can tackle deepfakes. If every EU country adopts similar laws, tech giants can't just move to avoid compliance. We've seen this with GDPR. Europe can set global standards. Lawmakers in Germany, France, and the Netherlands are watching closely. A continent-wide law would force platforms to prioritize user safety and identity protection. Denmark's move is sparking a vital conversation across Europe. The goal, a digital single market where everyone's identity is protected by default. Denmark has fired the starting gun. Now it's Europe's turn to run. So is Denmark's facial copyright law the answer to deepfakes, or just an intriguing experiment? It's empowering, direct, and puts pressure on tech giants. But challenges remain: cross-border enforcement, defining satire, and ensuring access for all. The risk of unintended consequences is real. Still, Denmark has moved the conversation forward and rejected helplessness in the face of tech change. Maybe the solution is a mix of laws, tech, and public awareness. What's clear? Our digital rights matter as much as our physical ones. The debate is just beginning, and soon it won't just be Denmark's issue, it'll be everyone's.